I will explain to you about the introduction of the chapter 1. Okay, so today class, I'm going to continue the other rule of actually in our syllabus. Okay, right. Actually, the rule actually not only focus on conducting or producing or developing the products. Okay, looking on uh, safeguarding policyholder interest, investment, and so on. So there is another rule of actually um, in actually whereby they need to looking into. Okay, right. So it's begin with the disclosure information. So as mentioned here, stated that um, information that cannot be obtained by other party, I mean the interested party. Okay, right. Example, information regards to the company performance, information regards to the product development, information regards to the any internal issue. It's considered as information whereby the third party cannot obtain that information, cannot receive or cannot retrieve the information, or cannot get the information in simple word. Okay, why? Because it will affect the performance, the reputation of the company later on. Okay, that's why in the second point is mentioned that all information considered as a value, and the value must be realistic. The value must be specific, the value must be realistic. In business, we consider the value as a profit. Okay, but on insurance part, the profit can be calculated through the formula given. Okay, premium plus investment minus benefits minus expenses minus reserve that need to be allocated in the company. Okay, right. So a part of that reserve explained here means that that amount of money that put aside in the company purposely for meeting claim that will be made by the uh, applicant or by the insured later on in the future if the claim bursts the certain limit. Okay, so that's why they need to have an amount of reserve. Okay, so as an actuary, okay, they need to figure out certain things. So here mention that there's two purpose to be mentioned or to be figured out by the actuary. First one is prudential goal and another one is informative goal. Okay, prudential goal means that being reasonable, confident of holding enough money. Okay, and informative goal is realistic, estimating profit earned. So and actually, they must know about things that relate to the company performance, that relate to the especially on product performance, product profit. Okay, and and in an amount of reserve, an amount of reserve that need to be hold by the company. Okay, so this information. Okay, information not only include on profit, it can be any other information. Maybe the expansion of the business. I mean the expansion of the company. Okay, information can be also like the development of new product. The process of hiring the new staff, the process of hiring new board of directors is considered as a information. So most of the time, as a workers, example for me, if I know information about VITM, especially internal information, so I cannot disclose the information to outside people. Okay, why? Because it will affect the UITM. Let's say example, let's say UITM plan to launch second satellite. Okay, so if other party know about this thing, so might be they will go to specific party, look on the information on development of the satellite, and later on they will bring the information to another party and sell the information to other party, and later on the third party or the fourth party, the fifth party, the other party considered where they develop those information that they receive and create their own product. So what happened to your ATM? Your ATM will lose in terms of development of product. Your ATM will lose in terms of copyright and patent. So that's the reason why company, especially insurance company, cannot disclose all information, especially regards to the development of the product, especially on insurance policy or insurance coverage, because the other party can copy, can do a copy, can uh, manipulate the information and become that information become their information. So that's the important thing. So later on, if you work with a company, okay, that's the reason why company ask you to sign um, in your item we call uh, apa ni aku janji. Okay, so there's a oath that you need to be signed. Okay, perjanjian. Okay, whereby you need to be clear that all information regards to your item, regards to example your item, regards to government. Okay, so you cannot disclose, you cannot be mentioned in any media, either social media, mass media. So these things, right? So next one we go to the fair treatment. Okay, right. As an actuary, simple here, okay, simple mission or summarize from fair treatment part, whereby as an actuary, okay, you need to be fair to two party. First party is the customer, okay, or the people who plan to buy your product. Okay, right. So in how to be fair to them, first one need to be fair in terms of the product. Okay, uh, the features of the product, the price of the product, the benefit of the product. Okay, right. So as a customer, we look on these things, this issue, the features, the price, the look of the product, how the market the product. So you need to be fair to the customer in terms of customers different range of income level. Okay, so some people are afford to buy, some people are unaffordable to buy the product. So you need to design the product, you need to be fair in term when you design the product, especially looking on the customer needs. Okay, so why? Because of later on it will back to the company. Okay, once you fulfill the needs, you cannot fulfill all the customers need, but at least half or at least 70%, 80%, you being able to fulfill the needs, then I think it should be okay. Okay, right, you cannot fulfill 100% needs of the customer. Okay, so as long as you fulfill half of the need or 80% of the need, then I think they later on will look on the product and inshallah they will buy the product. Okay, right. So first is we be fair to the customer in terms of this thing, the product, the price, the look, the features, the benefits, especially the benefits. Okay, right. So example, let's say you are the seller of let's say you are the seller of the food. Okay, so you need to be fair to customer in terms of the look, how they promote the product, if the product is scarf or food. These are the way, these are the method to do the food. This is an product. Okay, right. So people who have interest on the product, they will go to the product. So same goes to the insurance company. People have interest to the insurance marketing strategy, so they will go to the customer. That's why you need to be fair to them. Okay, right. It's for sure that some people will buy, some people will not buy at the first place. But later on, once you got all the feedback from the customer or feedback from the company later on, so there's improvement on the product. So later on, more customer will come to you. Okay, so first thing is to be fair to the customer in terms of product, policy, coverage, benefits, marketing strategy, promotion, things that you need to be considered on fair treatment is you need to be fair to the company. Okay, why company? Because you work with the company. Okay, right. So how to be fair to the company. Okay, in order to be fair to the company, okay, the method in terms of you, when you design the product, you need to look on company objective, especially on product objective, on price objective, on profit objective. Okay, uh this thing fulfill the objective of the company. Okay, if you fulfill all things, if the things are fulfill the objective of the company, means that you don't worry. Okay, because company will provide you later on uh, maybe a benefits to you, a commission to you, a bonus to you might be. Okay, since you able to fulfill all customer needs and company needs, so I believe that company will provide you more income or more money or more salary. Okay, all right. So being fair is not easy. It's not easy to being fair to the company. It's not also being fair to to the customer. More importantly, how to be fair to the customer. Okay, it's not easy. It's not an easy way. Okay, right. So these things are related to the how and actually being fair to do to provide the treatment to to the customer as well as to the company. Okay, right. So that's why they mention here fair in terms of uh thing relate to the price. Okay, so most important thing is about the price. It's about the customer, fair treatment to the company. Post issue is price issue, product issue, benefit issue, price issue, product issue, benefit issue. This thing. Okay, so you need to be fair in terms of all things. So that's why you need to apply all the treatment, the fair treatment to the document. Okay, this is the document related to the customer, this is related to the company. Okay, right. So that's why I mentioned here how much profit should be allocated, and then how much, what are the terms to be offered in the policy. So they mentioned here. So as to summarize on the fair treatment, being fair to customer and being fair to the company are a part of fair treatment need to do by the actuary. Right? Next one, monitoring standard. So to summarize the monitoring standard here, okay, there's a three monitoring standard need to be followed by an actuary. So one thing is related to the professional body. Okay, the first thing is professional body. Why? Because the professional body provide us and actually, okay, the guide, the rules, the regulation, the standards that need to follow. Okay, for example, under Majlis Keselamatan Negara (MKN), they have the rules, they have the standards. Okay, right. So if things that relate to the keselamatan negara, okay, safety of the nation, so the Majlis Keselamatan Negara will design what are the standards that you need that need to be followed by the people of Malaysia, the Malaysian citizen. Okay, and that's the reason you look into the current condition, they look into the current case, you look into the current situation, whereby anything that relate to the safety of the nation, especially on health issue, they will refer to the Ministry of Health, the MKN. Why? Because both party have interrelated on safety of the people in Malaysia. Okay, so there's a standard. So they consider as a professional body. They are professional people. Okay, especially on Malaysia Saman Negara, they are professional. They know how to provide a certain treatment to those party who not affected, who are being affected, who was affected. So they know. Okay, especially on Ministry of Health. Okay, so they know how to provide a better treatment for each of the group. Okay, how to do and how to allocate them, how to civilize them. Okay, how to make sure that they are not this affected party not involved with the with the people who not affected, so they know. Okay, so at the end, it's up to us to follow the rules or not. So that's why every time when director of Ministry of director of Health Malaysia, okay, Tan Sri Datuk Sri Dr. Syam, okay, always mention about SOP, SOP, SOP. So these are the standards that designed by them, which if we follow the standard, then you are safe. Okay, right. But at the end, it's I can say it is a power of Allah. Allah will let us whether we can continue a life or not. Allah know all things. Okay, since He is a creator, He know all the things, and He know where the virus, where the panic will gone or not. So he know all the things. So as for us, we just follow what the things that the leader informed to us. So we as a workers, we need to follow what the leader follow to us. Okay, so one of the standard is SOP created. Second one is a self monitoring. You monitor yourself. Okay, right. Again, we look on the current condition and the pandemic especially. So because of these these three things are related to the current condition. You can look on this thing that reflect to the current condition. Self monitor means that you monitor yourself. Okay, you know what the rules. Okay, right. Example, if you go to you meet to the public, I mean you go to the public, to the any fast food restaurant, you go to the mall, you plan to buy certain things. I mean, this is a need for you, so that's why you go outside and buy something. So you need to follow the things. Okay, make sure that you wear a mask. Okay, especially face mask, and then make sure that always with you is hand sanitizer. Okay, because you need to sanitize your hand every time you need to wash yourself, clean up the clothes. So these are the things because you want to make sure that you are clean from the pandemic. You are clean from the virus. Since we cannot see the virus, so this is the method. The only solution that we have is we we let's say you face the public, so we don't know whether this kind of people bring virus together with them or not. So that's why that's the reason why you need to clean up yourself. Same goes to company. Once you work with the company, you need to monitor yourself whether you are fulfill the company needs or not, or the company objective or not, or the company rules or not. Let's say when design the product, so there's a rules on designing the product. There's a standard on designing the product. Okay, there's a regulation that need to follow on when designing the product. Okay, right. So why? Because of if you didn't follow the rules or you didn't follow the condition mentioned by the company or stated by the company, later on there's a threat of disciplinary action will come to you. Okay, right. Let's say you work with the government, and every time once you see something wrong somewhere from the government, you write down and you post it in your social media. So these are one of the method that the government look in being threatening to the government. So later on, discrimination will come to you, and that's the reason why those who work with UiTM as me, example, I cannot I can um I can work up my opinion to the government, but I cannot uh, track the government. Okay, so same goes to other party who work with the government. We work with the UiTM, who work with the any statutory body where you are relate to the government. You cannot say bad things. Okay, yeah, you can work up your opinion, but you cannot harshly say to the government this thing. Okay, so there's a medium provided. Same goes to the company. Okay, so every time company do monthly meeting example or weekly meeting example, so you can work out, you can voice out your things that you say is not a good, is not a proper meaning of the company operation. Okay, so if not, if you directly want to do a peer review, okay, let's say I do the product, I design the product, I do the marketing, okay, so I will refer to my colleague, okay, to look whether I'm doing the right things or not, or I'm refer to the senior, okay, whether whether I'm in the correct pathway or not. If not, then I need to redo. Okay, so that's the reason why you need to have the peer. Okay, so peer will look into you. Same goes also. If your peer do the things that they will refer to you. If let's say they not sure about this thing, so they will refer to you, and you or the things or the job or the task that he or she do. If you look there's something wrong somewhere, so you need to explain this is wrong, you need to adjust, you need to redo something here, and the rest will look okay. So then, or you refer to your seniors, or sorry, you refer to your manager of department, okay, so they will look into. Same goes to me, okay. If I'm not sure about those things, okay, so I will refer to rector of your item, ask about this thing, or I refer to Dr. Imran. First thing I refer to Dr. Imran. Look on whether this thing that I do, it's okay. These things are beyond your limit, okay, and against government, against your item, so I need to stop. If I straightly continue, then there's a action that will come to me. So these are the standard, okay, right? So these are the way to make sure that we are at certain standard. Since we are an actuary, so we are the professional workers. I mentioned to you earlier, last lecture, says an actuary is a professional workers who deal with the insurance issue, insurance problem. Means that we have our own standard. Okay, whether the standard designed or created by professional body or nation regulators, example Bank Negara, Security Commission, uh, nation insurance institute, or any regulators. So we need to follow the standard given. If not, then you have the problem. Okay, especially on disciplinary problem. The worst case is they will make sure that you didn't hold the title. Let's say your name, comma, fellow or associate. So they will make sure that the title is not with you again later on in the future. Or you cannot perform your duty in any industry in Malaysia. So these are the way that regulators or officials will do to you. If they look you doing some threatening or some things that uh, against the company procedure or limits. Okay. All right. Next one, materiality. Okay. Under materiality, okay, right. Material, in order to explain here, it's not. I mean, it's not easy to you to understand the statement here. Okay. So to summarize, the materiality here is that company have their own material. I mean, uh, uh, you company hold the asset, company hold the product, company hold the policy. Okay, right. So material can be also considered those are tangible, those are intangible. Okay, right. Those are intangible, example copyright, patent. Okay, right. So this material need to be held by the company. Okay, right. And make sure that these material are safe in the company. Okay, right. So once you do something to the relate to the material, let's say you plan to design the product. Okay, right. Or maybe you plan to set up the price of the product, of new product. Okay, make sure that all factors, all issue are being handled together with the product, with the when you design the product. Okay, right. So whether the information that you collect before designing the product is individually, or you collect together with your colleague. Okay, or being informed by the board, or by the seniors. Okay, must consider in terms of the issue, in terms of whether the information is correct or not. Okay, whether the information is true or not, and how you're going to perform those issue, or those things, those material to the company. Let's say you design the product, so how are you going to perform this, how are you going to explain this, how you're going to design it. Okay, right. And how you're going to report those things. Okay, so these are considered material. Material can be considered either tangible or intangible. You learn on accounting, those lectures inform to you tangible product. You can see the product, the asset, the company, the staff, and so on. Okay, those intangible, the copyright, patent, um, trademark. Okay, so it's a lot. Okay, actually, so this considered material. Okay, and the materiality need to be cleared by an actuary. Okay, so the actuary should be alright. Now, another point here is that mention about independent employee actuary. Okay, independent employee actuary means that those actuary who not uh, related to the company. Okay, right. They are qualified people. Okay, qualified by negara, but they didn't work with any company or any insurance company. Okay, right. They work with the company. They didn't work with any financial institution. Okay, they work with certain company. Okay, right. Example, for you want an example is Zainal Mercer. Okay, Zainal Mercer is a company. Okay, the managing director, the MD is Zainal. Okay, right. He's a I if I'm not mistaken, he's a qualified actuary. Okay, right. So what he do, or what his company do is to look on the other company who need their expert. Okay, to in terms of expert in terms of product design, in terms of company problem, company um, financial problem, company performance. Okay, right. And they, as a consultant, will provide the company uh, those solution, the best solution, the good solution. And it's up to the company whether the company you want to accept the solution, or solution. Okay, right. But since you hire the consultant, means that you will accept the issue as well as the solution given by them. Okay, right. So as an independent actuary, so you look in terms of company, you look in terms of how company do on um, designing benefits. Okay, charging on certain product, whether they overcharging or low product, how company meet the liabilities in the company. Okay, right. As accounting term or accounting code says that the asset must be must equal to the liabilities and net worth. So you need to make sure that as an independent employee, actually, you need to make sure all expenditure that you do must meet the asset, the numbers of asset, the amount of asset, the value of asset. If more than asset, so later on the company will suffer some um, debt. Okay, right. As a consultant or actuary, okay, annual investigation must be made, okay, to look into the performance of the company, especially on the financial condition. Okay, right. And you need, as a consultant also, you need to report those uh, problem, as mentioned earlier. You need to report all the problem, all uh, the issue in the company. Firstly, report to the board of director. Okay, why? Again, back to the disclosure information, you cannot disclose all information to other party. So first thing first, you need to disclose information to the party first, to the company first. So once company agree, once company satisfied with the report, with your explanation, with your solution, so later on we do the we do the report and submit to the regulators. So there's a flow. Okay, right. So there's a method on submitting the report. Okay, you cannot directly report. Okay, yes, you are an actuary. You can direct report to the regulators, but since you consult the company, so you need to provide first information to the company, and later on, once the company agree, once the company satisfied with the information or with the report, then you can submit those report to the regulators. Again, you need to submit the report to the regulators. Why? Because the regulators want to look on how um, method of consulting, okay, that given by you. Second one, they want to look on the performance of the company that you being consult. Okay, and the third one is you want to look on your standards. Okay, how you perform. Fulfill all the standards given by them. Okay, right. Now, the fourth point here mentioned about whistleblower or whistleblow. Okay, right. Whistleblow here means that if since you are the consultant, means that you are the outsiders. So you look, there's something wrong somewhere in the company. Let's say you look one party of the company, okay, or one person in the company, do something wrong, okay, right? Maybe doing bribery, doing so you need to report, okay, right, okay, to make sure that the company are safe, okay, right, and you need to report those things first to the director. Okay, right. So why? Because of we want to we want to make sure that the company are safe at the first place. Okay, and the company still can continue the process. Let's say you find or you found one problem. Say that the A person do the bribery. Okay, and you didn't report to the director. So what happened to the company? So the financial problem will occur to the company, and might be most of the stuff being terminated by the company since the company lost in terms of money or lost in terms of reputation. Okay, or maybe the staff uh, jump up into another company since the company is not better for them. So these are the issue. So that's why we need as a consultant, as outsiders people who look on the problem of the company, especially internal problem of the company, you need to report to the board. So this means by whistleblower. Okay, right. If you look, the director itself created the problem or being involved with illegal, so you need to report to the uh, board of director. Okay, right. So the board of director will decide whether the director itself being viable or be can stay in the company or being terminated by the company. Okay, right. So later on, the board will decide for them. So there's a way, there's a method to report something illegal doing by one of the person or one of the staff in the company. Okay, right. And the most important thing is that provide or prove highly effective in protecting policyholder. Okay, so you need to prove that you always make safety or safeguarding the policyholder. Okay, to make sure that they are still loyal to the company, they are still with the company, they are put trust in the company. So these are the way that you as independent employee actually, or those independent actuary do it, or in terms of consulting to the companies. Okay, right. Next one, data quality. Okay, right. As an actuary, as those who learn about the statistics, about the mathematics, okay, right. So we need to have the data. Okay, right. So simple example. Okay, every time you look on the issue in pandemic, current issue, I always look on current issue. You look on the current issue, why the director of health always mention about the data, about the numbers, about the percentage. Why? Because we want to look whether the numbers are reducing or keep increasing. Okay, right. And for them, they want to make sure that the numbers, the percentage is reduced day by day. Okay, right? Because once the value or the numbers reduce or the percentage reduce day by day, means that we are more safety. Okay, we are more secure in terms of protecting our life from the pandemic. Okay, right. And some people say layman says the numbers cannot be lie. Okay, the numbers doesn't lie to us. Okay, so that's why we need to have some figures when doing some let's say you do some job to the company. Okay, right. Now, data. So generally the data can be divided into two. Either is a primary data or the data is a secondary data. Okay, the primary data means that, example, you go, let's say you look on everyday cases, the numbers of cases. These are the primary data, the raw data consider. Okay, simple word is raw data. Okay, data yang asli. Okay, yang memang kita retrieve hari-hari, tengok hari-hari, check hari-hari. Okay, right. So every time mentioned by director of our health says that, okay, as data retrieved by this is raw data. So they retrieve the data from hospital, given by the hospital actually. Okay, so they collect information and they explain the information. Okay, right. So these are the raw data. Okay, or example, let's say you want to look on the numbers of people who have a good internet provider when they are working from home. So you do some survey, you send the survey through the email, and later on some people return back the survey to you, means that they consider also as a raw data. Okay, right, data yang asli, data yang kita dapat daripada tu. Survey questionnaire is one of the method to get the raw data. Okay, right. The another types of data called secondary data. Okay, let's say you want to do research about a pandemic. Okay, so since you didn't have the data, and an easy way is that you doesn't work on collecting doesn't work to find out the raw data. The data is given by the Ministry of Health, so you just collect the data, okay, from the internet source or from the ministry from the Ministry of Health website or Majlis Keselamatan Negara website. Okay, so you collect the data and you make your own research. So this is considered as a secondary data. Okay, data yang orang dah buat, kita collect, kita guna je. Okay, right. Now, why both data are so important to an actuary. Okay, right. Since we apply on some we apply those data in development on the product, okay, and creating the price for the product. So we need to have the data before we can design the product. Before we can develop the price, the suitable price. Okay, right. And the data that you collect, whether the primary or secondary can collect from through internet source, through website source, through newspaper source. Okay, right. So they do both data. When you collect all the data, either the primary or secondary, must complete data. Okay, full with the information. Okay, to make sure that those data are accurate data. Okay, data tak boleh salah. Okay, kalau you collect data yang salah, wrong data, so there's a problem when you doing the product or designing the product later on. Okay, right. And you need to make sure that the data is up to date data. Example, let's say you want to design, or you want, you are the remiser of the company. Okay, remiser means that you deal with the stock market, buying and selling, okay, process. So before you release the data to your client or to the investor, you need to make sure that data that you have must be up to date data. So as an investor, for me, I want to look on the recent performance of the company. Okay, what are the last stock performance of the company within the 5 days before, a week before, a month before. So these are the things that you need to look into. Okay, so and then actually complete data, okay, accurate data and up to date data is important when dealing with the data. Okay, right. And another things that you need to look into as an actuary is that um, the data that given or you retrieve or you use is the user can rely on naturality of information. Okay, right. So they know about this party, they know about the another party says about the information, they says about the data. So it's easy for them to uh, make a comparison whether the data given to you or the product or design to you is uh, being acceptable by the market or not, or being done by the company, other company or not. So that's the reason why you need to know about the data. Okay, right. So data sangat penting. Okay, since data ni akan bantu kita untuk buat semua kerja, so paling penting dalam data ni adalah pastikan data ni kita ambil data yang kita tahu source dia, mana punca source dia. Okay, right. Kalau data tu kita tak tahu mana punca dia, kita main ambil je, kita buat je, kita design je, takut later on dia akan affect kita punya pricing process, later on product development process, later on kita akan jadi isu dekat company. Lastly akan affect the company lah. Okay, you miss price, later on they affect the company profit. Okay, itu yang paling penting you kena pegang dalam data. Okay, right. Now, we done about the data. Now we look into the last part, the last outcome on this chapter. Talk about ethics. Okay, you know about the data, you know how to collect the data, you know other people can monitor you or you monitor yourself through self monitoring. You do a peer review. Um, you know the maturity of the company. You being fair to the company. But most important thing in the company is about ethics actually. Okay. Once you perform your issue. Okay. Right. So ethics and professional behavior here, there's a 5 thing that you need to hold by yourself. Either you are a junior workers, senior workers, head, a managing director, or any person. Okay, right. So you need to make sure that your behavior are always in a good manner. Okay, right? Make sure that you know about what are good things, what are bad things. Okay, how to show, how to perform a good manner, how to consult with people, how to communicate with people with the good words, with the good communication skills. Okay, so it's relate to your behavior. Okay, right, perangai itu penting. Okay, cara cara kita berinteraksi itu penting. Okay, cara kita bawa diri itu penting. Sebab kalau kita salah, kita akan ada problem. Tak payah cerita pasal produk semua, tak payah. Kita tengok diri kita. Okay, so one of the important things, before you can get the job from the company, this is my lesson learned. Okay, right. The company look into your how you going to behave yourself during interview. Okay, right. So if you can perform yourself, okay, if you can speak well, okay, if they look you have a good a proper manner, inshallah they will hire you. Okay, right. Don't worry about the grades. Okay, they really into your academic wise, but most important thing is how you going to perform yourself. Okay, are you humble with them? Okay, are you have a good appropriate words? Are you provide a better word while explaining to them? So these are the key point looking on during the interview. Okay, right. So you kena pegang benda ni. Okay, right. Another things that relate to the ethics is about meeting a standard. Okay, right. So as an actuary, we need to meet the standard, whether the standard given by the professional body, as I mentioned, under the monetary standard, or the standard given by the regulators in Malaysia, Bank Negara, Security Commission, or any professional body in Malaysia, right? Malaysia Institute of Insurance, Takaful, and so on. Okay, or standard given by the company. So there's a lot of standard you need to follow. Okay, once you breach one standard, so there's a threat of disciplinary action will come to you. So that's why you need to follow the standard. So there's a standard given. Okay, so as a workers, as an employee, okay, we need to follow the standard to make sure that you are not beyond your limits, or you're not against the company. You are in the within the border of the limit of the company. Okay, right. Third one, it talk about the seniors. Okay, right. Basically, the seniors will manage us as a new one. So since we just joined the company, so lots of things that we need to learn. Okay, from the company. So one of the method to learn about those things, about the company, about the product, about the designing of the product, about the price, is uh, through the senior. Okay, right. So we are the senior. So senior know about those things. Senior know about the how going to present those things to the board or to the head. So that's why the senior will monitor you. Okay, since you just join, so you need you sorry, you have the knowledge, but you didn't have the experience. Since they have the experience, so they can provide you their experience to you, and later on it's much easy for you to explain to the board if the board need you to present to them directly. Okay, right. The fourth one is make sure that you always check your data that you use and the calculation that you use. Okay, right. Since we collect the data, talk about data quality. Since we use the data, we have the data, we collect data, or you do your own data, you do a pilot study. Okay, you ask the customer first about what they need, and later on you make a survey. So since you do all those things, so to here on ethics, you need to make sure that the data that you have, okay, must true, must accurate, must complete, okay, must be updated, okay, right. And calculation is a correct calculation, okay, it's a better measurement, okay. Then if you can make sure all those things are in the right way, so you are safe. If not, then you have the problem in terms of the ethics. People will say that you are not, you are you are unethical people, and many more words that is considered as a bad word. Okay, right. And the last things that relate to the ethics is about submission job to the professional body. Okay, right. So make sure we have mention uh, mention Australia society. Okay, right. And if you are appointed by a negara, or you entitled by um, any overseas professional body, example SOA, okay, IFOA. So you need to submit the job to them. Okay, right. So as an actuary, not only you submit the job to the regulators, to the company, but as well you need to submit all the material that you do, all the things that you do to the your own professional body. Why? So you perform your duty, okay, after being entitled by them. Okay, right. So itu paling penting. Bila kita kerja, kita kena make sure that professional body kita. Contohnya, kat Malaysia ni banyak professional body. Contoh, one of the professional body ada um, Malaysian Board of Technologies, MBOT. Those title with TS, nama depan, contoh nama TS Azam, TS contoh. Okay, TS technology specialist. Okay, whereby those people are expert in in their technology. Okay, example information technology, marine technology, aviation technology, chemical technology. So they are expert in them. That's why they are entitled to get the name of TS. So as people who carry the name of TS, they need to make sure that they fulfill all those things, all the job, all the responsibility, all the tasks given by the professional body. So at the end of the year, the professional body will ask those entitled people here to submit certain things to them. That's why there's a requirement. So every year you need to submit the report, write the report about this thing, what do you do while you have the title name of this one, and so on. So these are the requirement given by them. So same goes to the actually. Once your name, comma SOA, comma FSA, okay, comma ASA. So once your name given given title by them, so therefore you need to explain to them, or making report to them regards to those things that you do to your title. Okay, right. So I believe itu je yang kita akan cover sebenarnya, right? And I believe that's all for the um, chapter 1.